Happy Wednesday, y'all. I told you we were going to be in the kitchen today because I knew what I had planned already for today's supper. Y'all remember those 2 Brussels sprouts that I had to harvest? And I harvested them the other day. Oop, I missed a little spot. Now, some of them had some little spots on them. I don't want that. I called myself going through them. We've got from small ones to, a decent size. But that's what I was able to harvest. And I was like, okay, do I just roast these like I normally do? Ooh, that onion's strong. And we like them like that. Or I wonder if there's other recipes. Because we've only just roasted them. Or I'll put them in a skillet with sauteed bacon and onions and cook them down like that. Well, I found a recipe and all I did was put Brussels sprouts in. And it came up a small little reel. It was some young fella and it was a 1-pot dish. So I said, well, let me find that recipe. Don't know who this young man is. He's got a gorgeous kitchen. And he did kielbasa sausage, potatoes, onions, and Brussels sprouts. And I was like, now that looks delicious. I mean, it has Buddy's name and my name all over it. So I'm going to give it a shot. I've never made it like this before, but I don't think you can go wrong. And this is supposed to be a sweet onion too, y'all. But I looked for it earlier. I couldn't find it again. But I do remember, so you're talking 4 ingredients and some seasoning. So we're going to do this together. We're going to try it. But if this works, moving forward, I'm going to do more of the Brussels sprouts like this as we grow. Because this was our first year to do Brussels sprouts in the greenhouse. We only did 2. And y'all watched them. They did fantastic. So we're going to look at the ingredients. I got to do a little bit more prep. But I left that to share with you guys. So yeah, I don't know how to write the recipe in the description. Because I've never made it and I'm going to kind of wing it. But I mean, it's so stupid simple. You can't mess it up. I wouldn't think you could. Okay, here's my bowl of Brussels sprouts. We're going to set them to the side. Here is my 1 link of kielbasa sausage. I keep it in the fridge. That's one of Buddy's favorite sausages. I've got some Yukon Gold potatoes. A couple of medium, a small, and a fairly large. So that's 4 potatoes. A very large sliced onion. And I sliced mine. I didn't want little chunks. I wanted actual pieces of onion. And our ingredients is going to be very simple. Onion powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper, and clucking good. I chose to do clucking good. I think it's going to round the flavors out. And of course, some olive oil. I'm sitting on a number 6. Now make sure you're starting and finishing in an oven-safe dish. And this is oven-safe. So this is what I'm going to start with. On the sausage, I'm just going to score it. Just a little. You want a sharp knife just to get some marks. And you don't want to go all the way through. You're just scoring it. Because you don't want it to bust on you. Okay. Perfect. My pot is good and hot. I'm going to add a little olive oil. You always want to add your oil to a heated pot or skillet. That helps it from sticking. We're going in with our sausage. It's got a good sizzle sound, and that's what you want, because you don't want your heat too high. I'm on a number 6. Now we're going to get our potatoes cut. His looked fairly bite-sized, and that's what I'm going to do as well. I don't know how he cut his, so I'm just going to cut mine the way we would eat them. And chunk them in the bowl with the Brussels sprouts. I'll set the bowl right here so you can see. And now I am leaving the skin on. These were organic potatoes. So I just gave them a good wash. Ooh, I hear that sausage sizzling. That's what you want. Oh, yeah. I'm turning it over on the other side. Basically, all I'm doing is searing and blistering the sausage. Okay, now I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil, and I'll add more. This is just to allow a good coating of our seasoning. Okay, we're going to give this a good toss. I want to make sure that oil is coated the potatoes and the Brussels sprouts. And you don't want to over pan the Brussels sprouts because they are tender and you don't want them to tear. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit more. Then we're going to go in with some flavor. All right, let's pull our sausage out. And it's just going to sit here and rest. Let's get our onions in here. Oh, yeah. Now I'm going to put a little bit of salt on these onions. Pull out some of the moisture. I'm going to crank it down to about a number 3. Oh, the smell of onions, y'all. Now we're back over here to season our potatoes and Brussels sprouts while our onions are over there getting happy. And it's really going to be seasoned to taste, okay? That was salt. This is onion powder. We like a lot of onion. We're going to do garlic powder. And if I had to measure, guys, maybe 1/4 of a teaspoon. A little bit of black pepper. I'm just going to shake it. We like black pepper. And now for my clucking good. It's going to bring that brightness out and it's going to really flavor those potatoes. A little bit more oil because you don't want them to dry because remember we're cooking this in the oven. Now of course I think my seasoning was different from the gentleman's, but you have to season with what you like. And that's the beauty of a recipe. You know, you can make it your own. Unless it's a specialty recipe, then you might want to follow the directions and then change it up the next time. Like, oh, I can add this, I can add that. And if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm pulling those loose leaves off. That's just something I don't like. That's just a preference. Okay. We're going to set this aside and go back to the stove. Oh, y'all, look at this. Just what we wanted. Okay. Now I'm going to add the potatoes and the Brussels sprouts right on top of these onions. Now I'm leaving my onions at the bottom, so as they get soft, they'll let out more moisture, and then it'll help brown these potatoes and little bits onto the Brussels sprouts, in my opinion. I'm going to turn the stove off. I am setting this, oh, that's hot. I'm going to set the whole thing in the oven. 400 degrees, you got to preheat. And in about 30 minutes, I tell you what, it's going to cook 45 minutes to an hour. So in 15 minutes, I'm going to stir it. At the 30-minute mark, I'm going to stir it. And then I'm going to check the potatoes. But I'm going to let you stay with me because I left mine a little bit bigger. Once they start to get tender, not mushy, is when we're going to add the sausage back on top. And then let it go another 15 minutes. You know, until the sausage is heated back up and the potatoes are really tender. But I do know the first 15 minutes, I'm going to then stir mine. Because now with that high heat, those onions at the bottom are really caramelized, and then I can fold it in. So in the oven, 400 degrees. It's going to cook about 45 minutes total time. But I ain't going to leave you hanging. 15 minutes, guys. See what I mean? How those onions kind of started caramelizing? And then I am gently going to fold this. There again, I don't want to tear these Brussels sprouts. Oh, yeah. The smell is amazing. And it's got all the flavors that we like. I mean, so it's going to have to be delicious. All right. We'll let it go another 15 minutes. That's going to put us at our 30-minute mark. And then I'm going to stir again. Remember, we're cooking this in a 400-degree oven, and I can show you my potatoes are far from being tender. Okay, we're coming back with the sausage. It's been 40 minutes. And I'm going to kind of just nestle it down in there. Let it go another 15 minutes. I have stirred it again. And dinner's going to be ready. And guys, these potatoes, they're kind of a creamy consistency when I was poking them. But the Brussels sprouts have stayed intact. I hope this tastes as good as it smells. What'd you think of that picture? Now, let me scoot some stuff around. No one will ever know that I got me a sample plate. I've got my sausage here with my homemade spicy mustard, Brussels sprouts, and potatoes. I gotta let it cool. Here is, my mustard sauce I made. And I used, in case you wanna write this down, 1/4 of a cup of mayo, 2 tablespoons of ground mustard, the ground mustard, a tablespoon of Dijon mustard, a little bit of honey, and that was it. Because it has that little bit of bite, but if you mix the 2 mustards, it's phenomenal. Now, if you don't have the ground mustard, you could use a Creole, or you could use regular, but the Dijon actually, I see a little squirrel out there. Actually, the Dijon seems to smooth that tartness down. Star of the show is sausage, Brussels sprouts, and potatoes, but I'm going to have to say Brussels sprouts because I grew them. And this is going to be hot. So I am going to, first thing I want to try is the sausage with my mustard. I mean, you can't go wrong. Y'all, that is so good. I could just put that between some bread and that'd be a meal for me. Okay, I am going to try, I'm saving the Brussels sprouts for last. I'm going to try a potato. It's creamy. That clucking good. There's something about that seasoning, and I don't mean to toot my own horn, with potatoes. It's out of this world. Now, my Brussels sprouts, see how they char? And I love that. It's not burnt now. Maybe to some, but to me it's not. I'll make this again. I mean, it's just simple ingredients. I never would have thought, maybe you guys do it. In the South, that's kind of, we just have sausage. We're not big on potatoes. Green vegetables like this would be in bacon fat and onions, all the good stuff. But guys, this is really good. I'm glad that I ran across that. Now, like I said, I don't know what his ingredients was as far as seasoning, but I done good with the seasoning. It's not heavy in salt either. This is good. So, if you've never seen this, never heard of it, try it. And it's very inexpensive. I'm sure you can buy Brussels sprouts in the grocery store. We're in March, I would assume. I would think. And you could probably use any sausage. But guys, this is a heck of a dish. And this is going to make for some great leftovers. Because the flavors in it, they'll hold up to reheating. So, yeah, I'm fixing to enjoy my little snack before Bud gets home, and I'll have supper with him. So, as always, stay safe, stay well, and God bless. And I'm so glad, I found this recipe. See you on the next one.